example of this. Everybody's heard of the Mediterranean diet, and it tends to not be a controversial topic. And it's cool if you go to PubMed and you put Mediterranean diet in as a search term, it will give you this little window on the side that shows you the number of citations over time. And I believe it was 1958, somewhere around there, that the first citation popped up, where a guy wrote basically kind of a review, a theory paper about the Mediterranean diet and what its characteristics were, and maybe it might be health promoting. And then there wasn't much of anything for a good 5 years. And then there were a few more papers, but these things were all review, speculative. You had to get into the 1970s, I believe, before you started seeing a little bit of epidemiological research around that. And then you had to get into the 1980s before you saw a randomized controlled trial. So this is the kind of normal process with this. People have an observation, they have a hypothesis, and it may take decades before you actually see any type of more rigorous, like kind of gold standard testing in that. And it's not to say that we should just jump whole hog into something that's in a really speculative situation, but it's just as cognitively disingenuous to say, well, we don't have an RCT, so this thing's invalid. You know, it's like, well, we have a paucity of data, and so we have to evaluate it on what we have currently. And funny enough, that's where like some kind of clinic-based anecdote ends up being some of the most potent drivers, and it usually only shifts into that randomized controlled trial setting if there's enough anecdote to get people to think, well, there might actually be something here. Let's test it so that we can see if there's real signal or if this is just noise and we're getting duped by the whole process.